Honey, golden, sweet, and above all natural, drizzled on pancakes, stirred into tea, spread on toast, and squeezed from little bear-shaped bottles. It's been called liquid gold for centuries, a gift from the bees. But what if I told you that what you think is honey might not be honey at all? Is it not true that the bees, flowers, and the product so-called honey are all the same? Or is there something going on that the majority of consumers do not know about? We will reveal the interesting and, at times, disturbing facts of honey in this video. You will learn about the factors that truly make honey pure, the reasons why some honey is so inexpensive, and the actual contents of the majority of those golden jars of honey. From the beehive to the store shelf, you can see it wherever you look. It's poured over breakfast. It's blended into your favorite cup of tea. It's baked into cakes. Honey is advertised as a natural superfood, a more healthy replacement for sugar. However, in spite of its popularity, very few people have any idea how much one honey might differ from another and how much deception is involved in the international honey trade. What, then, is the actual difference between a jar of honey that is inexpensive and one that comes from a reliable beekeeper in the area? Is there more to it than just branding and marketing? Or is that all there is? We should begin with the fundamentals. The process of making real honey starts when bees gather nectar from blossoms. They carry it back to the hive, pass it from one to the other, break down the sugars, and gradually evaporate the water until there is nothing left except a thick golden syrup. Following that, the bees proceed to seal it into the wax comb. Honey that is properly prepared is concentrated, stable, and naturally rich in enzymes, antioxidants, and floral smells. Humans have been gathering it in this manner for thousands of years. However, the most intriguing, or more accurately, the most disturbing aspect is about to arrive. Before we go deeper into this sticky truth, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss our upcoming deep dives into the hidden truths behind everyday foods. Where were we? Oh yes, not all of the golden liquids that you see with a honey label are actually honey. In reality, a significant portion of the low-priced honey that you may get in stores has undergone extensive processing, dilution, or even adulteration with other sweeteners. Due to the fact that bees are only capable of producing a limited amount of honey, they are unable to meet the enormous demand for honey that exists around the world. As a result of the gap that exists between natural production and consumer demand, an industry has developed in which honey is frequently regarded more like a commodity that can be stretched, mixed, and disguised than like a priceless natural product. It is possible that what appears to be honey in the jar is actually an entirely different substance. The honey has been boiled and filtered with such precision in a lot of situations that even pollen is removed during the process. To the average customer, that may not sound like a huge deal, but the truth is that pollen is the fingerprint of honey. It is able to provide you with information on the location of its origin, the names of the flowers that the bees visited, and even the season in which it was made. It is nearly impossible to determine where honey originates from if there is no pollen present. Accountability vanishes when traceability disappears. The fact that substantial quantities of honey all over the world are blended with sugar syrups, which are frequently produced from rice, corn, or beets, is even more alarming. These syrups are inexpensive, they look like honey, and they can even pass for honey when subjected to simple quality testing. The final product is a liquid that has a sweet taste and a golden color, but it is missing a large portion of the characteristics that make honey unique. It is not uncommon for jars of honey that are sold in supermarkets to include honey that was harvested from more than one hive or even from more than one country. These are combinations of dozens of different sources that are gathered in large quantities, preserved for months or years, then processed until they have a consistent flavor and appearance. Despite the fact that the jar's label might indicate that the honey is a product of any country, the truth is that it is possible that it has journeyed through a number of different nations, been reheated, watered down, and filtered before making its way to the jar. That is the reason that the costs vary to such a large extent. The honey that is sold by the beekeeper is more expensive since it is authentic. It is harvested in small batches from their own hives and is frequently raw and unfiltered. with natural flavors that vary depending on the time of year. Through the passage of time, it might crystallize, it might appear to be murky, and it might even still contain extremely little specks of wax or pollen. All of those characteristics are indicators of genuineness. In the meantime, industrial honey is available at a low price since it has been subjected to mass processing and standardization, and it is occasionally even counterfeited. It has a smooth, golden, and perpetually liquid appearance, making it appear flawless to the naked eye. However, the cost of achieving that perfection is the loss of genuineness. Is it potentially harmful for me? Not always, but it's possible. In the majority of cases, contaminated honey will not cause you any harm in the short term. However, the distinctive enzymes, phytonutrients, and delicate flavors that are found only in real honey are the things that you are failing to recognize. In essence, what you are left with is nothing more than sugar syrup that has been disguised. Nevertheless, the majority of people who buy products are completely unaware of this fact. What is the reason for this? Would you actually purchase a jar if the label read blended with corn syrup, ultra-filtered to remove pollen, country of origin uncertain? Certainly not. Consumers expect purity from the honey industry, and the industry is aware of this. Because of this, the phrases pure, natural, and golden are shown in big lettering on the front of jars, while the truth of the matter is kept concealed in the background, if that is even brought up at all. However, now you are aware of the situation. As a result, you have the ability to make decisions in a more deliberate manner. Due to the fact that there is such a thing as honey that is genuinely raw and authentic. The kind that crystallizes in winter, that changes color based on the flowers of the season, and that smells and tastes of the location where it is produced. Every type of honey is different, not only because of its sweetness, but also because of its complexity, the floral notes it contains, and the fact that it occasionally has a flavor that is reminiscent of fruit or the earth. Examples include lavender honey from France, clover honey from New Zealand, and acacia honey from Hungary. They do, in fact, cost more money. They might not have an appearance that is as perfect as it could be, and at times they might even look hazy or grainy. However, there is no comparison between them when it comes to authenticity and flavor. Give it a shot yourself. Get a low-cost honey from the grocery store as well as some raw honey from a beekeeper in your area. Compare their flavors by tasting them one after the other. Take note of the texture, the smell, and how rich it is. One of them is flat and has a flavor that is just sweet. The other one has depth, character, and life. The decision of which one you will select is based on your preferences, the amount of money you have available, and the ways in which you want to utilize it. When it comes to baking, a honey that is inexpensive may be sufficient. However, if you are looking for honey for the health benefits that it provides, or simply to enjoy it, spread on toast, paired with cheese, or as an ingredient in tea, you will want to be sure you get the real kind. In the end, as is the case with olives and a multitude of other delicacies, it all boils down to the place of origin, the method of processing, and the degree of honesty, and with regard to being aware of the food that you are actually consuming. Therefore, the next time you see a jar of honey shining on the shelf, ask yourself, is it liquid gold or liquid lies?